Heading into 2013, the city was faced with a number of significant issues, recovering from the most devastating natural disaster in Duluth's recorded history, addressing the plague of synthetic drugs, and confronting a state proposal that would have cut local government aid and devastated our city's budget. But thanks to the talent and dedication of city staff and in cooperation with our community partners, we're not only able to tackle these issues, but also make progress on the larger goals of economic growth and fiscal health. Here's a sampling of the accomplishments of the past year. For the first time in 14 years, the City of Duluth passed a budget that resulted in a property tax decrease for city services. At the same time, we've continued to build our reserves, increasing them $9 million since 2009. Standard & Poor's recognized Duluth's improving fiscal discipline and financial health in their latest report by raising the City of Duluth's bond rating to AA. When they started operations in January of last year, AAR promised to create 200 jobs in 3 years. By the end of the year, they were already up to 279 with plans for a fourth line and over 300 jobs by early 2014. Duluth received over $10 million in flood recovery in 2013. While the effort continues, the vast bulk of the needed recovery work was completed in the last 12 months.
The needs of the many have always trumped the desires of the few.
With strong support of local organizations, citizens, and businesses, the Duluth Police Department and City Attorney's Office closed down the last place on earth, greatly reducing the area nuisance and crime problems. Due to strong job growth in aviation, engineering, skilled manufacturing, and other sectors, Duluth's unemployment rate dropped to 4.6% in December, its lowest level since the Great Recession began in 2007. Last year, we worked diligently to finalize development agreements and construction plans that will result in 2014 being one of the busiest construction seasons in Duluth's history, including over $200 million of total investment in our city. As the local economy continues to expand and hundreds of new jobs are being created, we're now seeing signs of population growth that Duluth has not seen in over 60 years. And with this growth comes a new set of challenges, including housing, workforce recruitment, and growing income inequality. These challenges are closely interconnected, and we'll address them concurrently and proactively. Rising housing demand, coupled with an inadequate number of new housing starts, has brought us to the verge of a housing crisis. Because supply is not kept up with demand, we see a lack of quality options for new residents, increased rents for substandard units, and an increased conversion of single-family homes into rental units. To meet rising demand, we must add 1,000 new or fully renovated units by the end of 2017 and a total of 2,300 by 2020. We must increase availability of housing options, including new senior housing, multifamily units and micro apartments, as well as new single-family home construction. We must also address perceived barriers to investment, including availability of building sites, costs of construction, and access to financing. In early February, 250 community leaders convened at the first Housing Summit to address these issues and jumpstart housing construction in 2014 and 2015. Across the country, workforce availability is becoming a significant challenge in many industries. This new reality represents a historic opportunity to bring new jobs to Duluth and give our local employers a huge advantage over their competition. By coordinating training partnerships between employers, area schools, and colleges, we can demonstrate real value to employers by effectively meeting their skill needs. Best of all, by meeting these needs, we give our young people the opportunity to step into great paying careers right here in Duluth. Perhaps the most important reason to be intentional and proactive in regards to workforce challenges are the related issues of poverty and income inequality, which continue to burden our community and the nation. We must develop better pathways to help people in poverty gain the skill sets needed by employers so that they can create better lives for themselves and their families while making positive contributions in our community. We must proactively engage with the labor community, especially the building trades, to ensure that we're developing a deep bench of trained and qualified workers. We must proactively engage with communities of color and ensure that every resident has equal access to opportunities. We must proactively engage with local schools, colleges, and universities to ensure that the skills that they are teaching match the needs of our employers. We can't guarantee success for anyone, but we should be able to guarantee that everyone has equal access to opportunities in Duluth. Duluth's reputation is improving as a can-do city that tackles its toughest problems. In fact, last year, Minnesota's leaders in public policy named the City of Duluth their Local Government of the Year. In addition to the critical issues that we spoke about before, housing, workforce, and income inequality, we'll prioritize our efforts on other issues like resolving the casino dispute and fixing our city streets. Over the past few months, a working group of city councilors and staff have been working to develop a plan to fund much-needed repairs to our streets. Thanks to their work and the valuable input from the community, we anticipate that the council could take action as soon as this spring. Our success in solving problems is now creating exciting new opportunities. I'd like to take some time to fully explore one such opportunity, a project that we've been quietly working on for the past 5 years that's now ready to come to life, the exciting opportunities along the St. Louis River corridor. Residents of this area value their unique and distinctive living experience. Many neighborhoods in the corridor feel like small, close-knit villages rather than urban neighborhoods, fostering a strong sense of belonging and pride by residents. Lincoln Park, West Duluth, Irving, Fairmont, Fremont, Norton Park, Smithville, Riverside, Morgan Park, Gary New Duluth, and Fond du Lac. Each of the neighborhoods feature distinctive strengths, but the common thread is access to an amazing natural resource that's too often overlooked in Duluth, the St. Louis River. There's no question that if not for Lake Superior, Duluth would be defined as a river city, but it doesn't have to be either or. In my mind, Duluth should be defined by both the world's greatest lake and the world's largest freshwater estuary. Five years ago, we began to prioritize attention on this magnificent river corridor. In June of 2009, I called together the St. Louis River Corridor Summit that brought together 70 stakeholders to develop a comprehensive vision for the area. The lively discussion focused both on big ideas and vision for the area, as well as many practical, project-oriented initiatives. From this discussion, 7 working groups continued the conversation, creating specific action plans which have inspired some amazing initiatives and projects. Implementation started slowly, but is now gaining speed. The St. Louis River Corridor can be a perfect case study on how a community can successfully weave together residential, industrial, recreational, and environmental considerations, each component enhancing and supporting the others to the benefit of the entire community and region. The river is the thread that pulls all of these unique attributes together. The St. Louis River was once in dire condition. The health of the ecosystem compromised, and the water, riverbed, and surrounding land laden with toxic remnants of a heavy industrial history. The river has required many years of intensive remediation, a major shift in common practices, and a commitment to stewardship from the whole community. Because of these efforts, the St. Louis River is again a place to fish, kayak, and take in a beautiful riverfront. An even more aggressive cleanup effort is planned over the next 10 years. The St. Louis River estuary was designated as an area of concern in 1989 as one of the 43 most polluted sites across the Great Lakes. Today, we have committed to delisting the area of concern by 2025. In doing so, we'll achieve the largest and most significant delisting in North America and the most significant environmental accomplishment in the history of our city. The environmental health of the river is key to the broader vision that's emerging, both to enhance the practical use of the river for fishing and recreation, but equally important to celebrate our stewardship. The environmental damage of the river has historically been a source of embarrassment. Now, we have committed to a nationally significant project that reflects our common commitment to protect the freshwater resource that we are blessed with. No area of the city is seeing more public investment than the St. Louis River Corridor. This investment in infrastructure is the foundation for private investment and job growth that we want to encourage. Key investments have included critical street and utility improvement projects, parks and trails, schools, environmental cleanup of brownfields, and extending public infrastructure into future industrial development sites. During a 5-year stretch, from 2010 to 2015, St. Louis River communities will see a total public investment of $290 million. That's not including $90 million for I-35 improvements and flood recovery efforts. The task before us now is to leverage these improvements into private investment and job creation. When our vision comes to life, the St. Louis River Corridor will see tremendous job growth across multiple sectors, with exciting opportunities to create light industrial and skilled manufacturing jobs. This area offers amazing strengths as a modern industrial park, including over 1,000 acres of potential industrial sites, extensive underutilized utility infrastructure, shipping capacity and waterfront industrial sites, extensive rail availability, a skilled, loyal workforce that continues Duluth's proud industrial heritage. The city, DEDA, and Port Authority have been working closely with state, federal, and private partners to make some very aggressive moves to clean up old industrial land and prepare it to be project ready for large-scale industrial expansion. In the past decade, over $20 million has been invested in acquisition, environmental cleanup, and new infrastructure. These efforts prove that job growth and environmental stewardship can go hand in hand. An abundance of project-ready sites greatly strengthens our business recruitment efforts to bring new manufacturing jobs to Duluth. Another element of economic revitalization is to make the St. Louis River an outdoor recreation and environmental education destination. Just as Canal Park has become a premier tourist destination in Minnesota, the St. Louis River Recreation Hub will become Duluth's next great visitor experience, bringing millions of dollars into our local economy and greatly enhancing amenities for residents of the surrounding neighborhoods. Spirit Mountain, the Lake Spear Zoo, and Indian Point Campground serve as focal points of the outdoor recreation hub. Our goal is to make a seamless, well-integrated family experience using amazing natural attributes of these three sites. World-class trail systems and significantly improved river access linking these sites to one another and to the broader surroundings will provide days' worth of activities for people of all ages and abilities. The most exciting aspect of this new recreation and education hub is that it features fun, healthy, and inexpensive, in many cases free options for folks to get out and experience the natural beauty of the area. Instead of spending millions to build expensive tourist attractions, we'll invest in quality experiences that can be enjoyed by both visitors and locals. In other parts of the country, people pay millions to have access to resort towns. Along the St. Louis River, you can have all of that and a $120,000 mortgage with opportunities to canoe, kayak, ski, mountain bike, snowmobile, fish, hunt, and have world-class trails right out their back door. Demographic studies show that the St. Louis River neighborhoods are aging quickly, and we must be deliberate about creating market demand for housing and inspiring a new generation of home buyers to choose the St. Louis River Corridor. It should be our common goal that when a young family moves to town, local realtors are sure to show homes along the St. Louis River Corridor because of the wealth of outdoor experiences and the quality of these close-knit neighborhoods. This is our moment. We must both be deliberate and aggressive in demonstrating that these neighborhoods are a great choice for young home buyers. If we don't, I worry that we'll see property values decline, increased conversion into rental properties, and seniors who will struggle to sell their home when the time comes. 15 years ago, Lakeside and Lester Park faced the same demographic challenge. A large percentage of those homes were owned by seniors. Today, the neighborhoods are booming and have become a magnet for young families. As our economy grows, we have the same opportunities in the St. Louis River neighborhoods. It won't be easy, and there will be resistance, but the stars are aligning. This is our moment to create a vibrant future for these neighborhoods and for Duluth. We have a series of proposals at the state legislature this session that, if passed, will put us on the fast track to making this vision a reality, spurring millions of dollars of private investment and allowing this vision to be realized by the end of the decade. 4 pieces of legislation are important: a bonding bill that supports the Spirit Mountain Water Project, a supplemental flood relief bill to address unfunded damage at the zoo and Irving Park, reestablishment of the half-and-half tourism tax, and housing incentives to support new development and rehab of existing housing stock. The tourism tax is the most important tool to implement this vision. The tax has been in place for 15 years to pay for capital improvements in Canal Park. Now it's time for these dollars to be dedicated to growing a new economy in the St. Louis River Corridor. Once completed, this vision will bring hundreds of thousands of new visitors to Duluth. Hundreds of young families will buy homes in the area, and a new generation of active retirees will find that the St. Louis River communities have everything they're looking for at an affordable price. This renewed interest in river communities will benefit our entire city by increasing Duluth's tax base, utilizing our extensive utility infrastructure, balancing school enrollments between west and east, and enhancing housing markets for a new generation of homebuyers. The opportunity for growth in the St. Louis River corridor is representative of a larger movement that's gaining momentum. People are drawn to Duluth and cities like Duluth for its extraordinary natural beauty, connection to the outdoors with the perks of a big city, and a unique work-life balance that Duluthians take for granted, but millions of hardworking Americans are yearning for. It's exciting to see that people across the state and the Midwest are beginning to notice what's happening here in Duluth. After decades of bemoaning untapped potential, the talk about Duluth is a city on the rise. We're tapping into our authentic strengths, resulting in job growth and improving local economy and continuing to grow our collective optimism. I'm convinced that this is only the start. In fact, I think that 2014 is the first year of our newfound virtuous cycle. It's taken us 30 years to turn the ship, but we're now pointed in the right direction. All we have to do is accelerate. These are exciting days in Duluth, and the best is yet to come.